Welcome back, guys. This is How to Play 100 Soul with Veil, and today we're going to be looking at a specific weapon. A friend, a guildie of mine, Bunny, has requested to know a little bit more about the weapon called Dual Crescents. So today I'm going to show you how to use Dual Crescents and what makes them awesome. They are a bleed element dual wielding weapon, of course. And the best part about it is that they're connected to Bianca. So this is where you can first craft the Dual Crescents when you first open her up. And as any weapon, it is most powerful when it is enchanted up to at least 3. That's kind of where I have it now. So my goal for this character, my newest alt, is honestly to work this armor up to enchant 6, and then to probably finish enchanting my Dual Crescents through duplicates through Bianca's system. Yeah, so that's the goal. So like any other weapon, the power does come through with the weapons. Same for the guarding of your armor. But today I'm just going to use this fire armor because I have 3 enchants on it. So particularly the Dual Crescents are really good for specific bosses. When you're first starting out, it's really annoying for certain bosses because they either fly in the air or they hide under the ground and you can't kill them. So I'm going to run through maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 bosses just to show you how helpful the Dual Crescents can be. And the battles, they might take a little bit longer, just compared to, my lack of enchants. It's only at enchant 3, but the point is that you can actually kill the boss. Whereas before, if you had a certain item, maybe like a demi rune or a nightfall, if they're hiding under the ground, you can't get to them. So this is a way to get around that. All right, let's start with Chapter 3. Okay, I'm going to do the Hell version, so it might take a little bit longer, but just try to watch the moves that I use, the skills that I use, and I'll try to narrate through the battle as I go. Let's turn off some sound first. Okay. So these 2 bosses are hiding under the ground, right? So I'll show you. And this one's particularly easier. So the Desert Mummy is the more annoying one. Alright, and again, I have Lyudmilla, so she's going to heal me and break, and then I have Rowan. And Rowan is a bleed companion, just like I have these 2 weapons that are bleeding as well. So that's kind of what you want to do. You want to stack bleed, and then as you advance your karmas, you want to get this karma down here, Wild Dog's Dagger, which gives you a bleed damage boost, and an HP boost, all attack boost, and it also gives you the special skill of it. It allows you to be healed through the amount of, here it is, when attacking a bleeding enemy, a portion of the damage dealt is absorbed to heal the caster. So that's perfect. It's really good. We don't even need Lyudmilla. But for the sake of, well, let's see. Typically, you most likely will not have Lyudmilla. So let's show you what it would look like with a stun companion, because I know you have Philippa. Alright. And I'm going to change my pet. Okay. Here we go. So there's 3 skills that you primarily use. And when you first craft this item, you really just want to put skill points into 1 or 2 of the moves, the skills. The goal is to get a bleed stack on them as fast as possible. Okay? Don't worry about getting hit. Okay. So this is the hell one, so he jumps around a whole lot more than normal. Now look at that. I can pull him. That's the pulling attack. What I just used there, that chasing blade, it does a lot of damage and it puts a lot of bleed on him. So you want to keep getting more bleed on him and then just keep him above ground. Break his super armor again with Philippa, if that's who you're going to use. And then this third attack does more damage, as you can see. When you're first starting out, your dual crescents will only be, it won't even be enchanted. So you won't be able to do that amount of damage, but at the same time, you will at least be able to pull them out from under the sand. Let's see. It's important that you read your skills on your weapons. Okay, so we're going to do that real quick. Chasing blade. So I got 20, 21, and 1 and 1. I haven't even put any other skill points in triple throw or chain throw, although you just saw me use triple throw and it did a lot of damage. So keep that in mind, okay? As you upgrade, I'm tier 6, and as you enchant, I'm enchant 3 on this weapon, it increases the damage that you do even if your skill points are low. But there are particularly significant skills of each weapon that you want to build up first, since you don't have a lot of skill points. If you need more skill points, at the top I have 224 right now. You can just go and upgrade, you know, a different sub weapon or something to gain more, so you can put those skill points into these skills. So I would suggest doing these two, and primarily you want to do the ones that do the most damage first. So this one does 389% of 1,231 damage. That's really good. And that's your chasing blade. So you throw it out and it chases them, or it's got heat-seeking abilities, and it puts a lot of bleed on them quickly, and it's doing that much damage right there. So the pulling attack is similar. 1,029% of 2,388. So this is the priority one to use. But in my mind, I want to throw this out first because it takes a half a second to throw. And then as it's circling the enemy, giving more bleed stack, then I want to use my pulling attack, because I can't use pulling attack until I have at least one full circle of the bleed debuff, or one bleed stack, in other words. So I want to throw this out first. And then once I get the bleed stack on, I can pull him, which adds more bleed. Uses the chain to pull in and attack a bleeding enemy, right? So it adds more bleed to them. Plus, when you have a bleeding companion like I did with Rowan, that is going to add more bleed. But here's the other thing. You just saw me do the battle with Philippa. Philippa, if you break the enemy's armor first, then they are more susceptible to the element that you're trying to apply to them. So really, we should have gone into that battle. I should have thrown Philippa out there first, break his super armor, or weaken it at the very least, and then throw my chasing blade, and then use Rowan's special to shoot a bleeding arrow, and then do my pulling attack. He would have then had more bleed, and that would have activated all of these skills here faster. So that's kind of the goal with any weapon. You want to get maybe 1 or 2 stacks of your element, depending on what weapon it is, and then you'll be able to use your other skills. But as you're first starting out, just focus on these two, building them up. And they cost a lot. It's an advent gear. It's an advent weapon. So it costs more in skill points to level it up than other weapons. It costs 8 skill points. Other weapons cost 4. So you really have to be selective on which ones you put in. Okay? So I just showed you the desert mummy. Let's show you something else. Okay. So same principle here. Let's try and do what we just talked about. I'm going to throw out Philippa first. Now, I don't have much rage gain. I do have the rage gain necklace. So sometimes it's okay just to stay back here and wait for your bubbles to pop. There's Philippa. Alright, now I'm going to shoot that. I'm going to throw my chasing blade. Now I'm going to shoot. And I'm going to stay back and pull him in. And there you go. The amount of distance that you are away from the enemy activates certain skills too. Like if you're too close, your pulling attack won't work. There we go. And I beat him. And I got hit at the same time. So pretty easy. But again, it's pretty easy because it's tier 6 and it's enchanted 3 times. Alright. Now let's find another problematic boss that a lot of people struggle with. I even struggle with in the past. Let's see how dual Crescents works on him. Everyone hates this boss, Shadow Wraith. People seem to hate the Immortal Troll and even the Hellfire Hound. Immortal Troll is just annoying because he runs away and heals. So really, you just gotta be situational with it, and you gotta throw him. You gotta learn his moves, learn when he's about to run away and heal, and then just make sure you have a stack of bleed on him so you can throw him and then he won't heal. So try to interrupt his heal is really the principle. But this boss is different. He's different because the amount of fire damage he does is really... It's a lot. He puts a lot of fire on you, and so you get damaged very quickly. So let's run back here. And so we want to do the same principle, okay? Philippa first, if you want to use Philippa. And if you're far away like that, they just teleport to the boss. So just go ahead and use it. Okay, activates that. Now he's getting back up, and I'm running away. Because that move right there, it puts on a lot of burn on you. And then you start to lose health. So I'm going to stay away as I can. Oh, look at my health. I'm already losing because I got burned. So I'm going to break his super armor again. Now we'll shoot him. Activates that and our triple throw. Okay, so I'm not doing nearly as much damage as I did to the other ones because he's a harder boss and he's on hell mode as well. But I'm just juggling him. I'm trying to keep my distance too. Okay, break him. So you can break with Philippa, then break with your gun, and then use Rowan. So now look at his super armor. It was completely gone up there. Okay, I'm just going to run back here. Because I'm half health, even with my bleed karma. This is called kiting. When you stay away from the enemy and you just do damage from afar. So you want to kite him. It's going to be close. Oh, he got me. Anyway, I'm not going to do it again. But this is the strategy you want to take. Also, if you don't have Lyudmila, you do have Lalika, who does heal you. Actually, let's do it for your sake, Bunny, and I'll show you the good thing about Lalika. Lalika, I haven't really used her a lot, but the good thing about her is she purifies you, so she takes off the status elements that you have. She's not built up at all on this account, and Rowan isn't either. She's plainly green. The only reason that Lalika is blue is because she has certain secret skills open. But I'm just going to use her for the sake of healing the fire off of me. But it's going to take a little bit longer because I don't have Philippa to break his super armor. So I'm going to break it with my gun first. Then I'll use that. Then I'll throw a chasing blade. keep my distance. I already used that, so I can be purified. Now, if you remember, I actually made a video with the Duelist and how to beat this guy. So go back to my video on Duelist and you'll see how I do it. Duelist is actually easier, in my opinion. I'm just gonna purify myself, get some heals. Perfect. So, at first, when you first get this weapon, it seems kind of weak, because you would think to yourself, well, you're throwing out blades, and those blades are hitting the enemy, but what about the chains? I mean, there's nothing in between you and the enemy to stop you from getting hit, and that is true. It does seem weak at first, as any weapon is weak when it's not enchanted. But as you enchant it up, even to enchant 6, it becomes really good. And then you can move from the Advent weapon into the actual legendary weapon through Bianca's shop. So that's an endeavor. And it is one of the strongest. The legendary dual Crescents is one of the strongest weapons in the game. It's a good way to go to get your first legendary, because it's got free enchants through Bianca's shop. You just have to have patience and craft it every week or every 5 days or whatever. Alright, so I beat him. And 3 seconds after, if I would have done it 3 seconds earlier, I would have gotten the S. Okay? So now you can see that. Let me switch positions here. Okay, so how about we do our favorite friend. Let's switch this up. You just got Lady Grey Bunny, so we're going to try it with Lady Grey. Shadow Wraith. Here we go. Now you got to know his moves, okay? So just focus on what the boss does. When I run in there and he comes out of his little hole or whatever, just watch him. Okay. I'm gonna shoot him first. I'm gonna send her out, and you, Rowan. Okay, now you can't see him, but you saw on the ground there was a purple circle, right? Okay, now he goes into his transparent mode. There he is. Alright, keep watching. There, see? He like pulls his arm back, and then he starts to put these purple circles on the ground. Well, what I've learned is that one dodge out of the circle isn't enough. So once you get your armor enchanted up 3 times, 2 times, you'll get double dodge, and then you can get out of it. Or if you anticipate it fast enough, you'll be able to do it with 1 dodge. For Bunny's sake, she has a legendary armor right now that she probably won't enchant soon, because she's going to be going for the best armor. So you're going to just have to deal with a single dodge. Anyway, this is how you kill him. You just kind of dodge his little death scythe that he throws. Keep applying bleed. Keep doing that. Keep throwing him up. Okay, so that's what happens when he puts the purple circle on the ground. And that's okay. So you just want to mainly keep grabbing him as much as possible to keep him out of doing the purple circle. And Lady Grey is helpful because she slows him frequently. Okay. You want to keep breaking with your gun. Just keep applying everything that you can to get that bleed on him. So you're chasing blade over and over and over again. As soon as it's up and your pulling attack as soon as that lights up, and your gun, because that's a bleed gun and it breaks the super armor. And that's how you kill him. So dual Crescents is really helpful. And I'll tell you this, in the arena area of PvP, it rains on the North American server. Like, that and Death Scythe. But if you have a legendary dual Crescents, it just massacres everything. Just from basic attacks. And it's got such range that, man, it's hard not to beat. So I actually personally avoid it in the arena. Let's see. So Torchlight did say, and the truth of the matter is that to open up this weapon in Bianca, you have to kill the Chimera 4 times. So I'm going to show you how to kill the Chimera 2 times. One with Duelist, and then I'll show you how to do it with the dual Crescents. Oh, you know what? How about we just show you dual Crescents, because I actually have 2 more bosses I'm going to show you, and then we'll be done. So, Chimera, right? Chimera, which is 6. Conquest. Alright, there we are. So I got an S. Let's go for hell. Got an S. Alright, so this is mainly with these big world bosses. This is what you want to do with dual Crescents. It's the same thing, pretty much. A specific grab pins them so that you're holding them, and with your left or your right hand, I think it's your right, you're holding them with the left dual Crescent, and with the right dual Crescent, you're smacking them in the face, pretty much. But you want to do that. That's your method with dual Crescents, and that's another reason that makes them so good. I'll show you. You just got to get, it's either 1 or 2 stacks of bleed first. Okay, so for this guy, your main objective is to stay under him, like I just did. Okay, now I'm going to pop my companions and use my gun to break him. Just try to get that bleed. So we got 2 stacks right now, and that gave me with that throw, which wasn't very helpful. Okay. The goal is to try to keep his attention on you. Now we'll get that. Hopefully we'll get the bleed up. Alright, we just broke a super armor. Just keep adding the bleed. Alright, 3 stacks. There it is. There you go. Now he's pinned. Smacking him. Now I'll use my other companion. So it adds a hold on him. Look at the debuffs. He's got bleed, he had slow, and he had a hold. So you just want to keep breaking, keep adding the bleeds. Pulling attack adds more bleeds, keep doing that. I tend to avoid that middle one because I want the 3rd one. There it is. And I'm getting healed too because of my Wild Dog's Dagger Karma. That's why Karma is very important. But that's a subject for another video. And guide. Okay. I mean, I use the middle one, the grab right there that's lit up, when I have to. But using it seems to decrease the bleed stacks that I have. So I only use it as a last resort if I actually absolutely have to do it. Break, break, break. Okay. Ah, that sucked. Oh. Oh, I should have dodged. Oh man, he's got me in his mouth. Dang it. Dang it. Look at my health. Oh no, I'm dead. Ah, fail. You win some and you lose some. Anyway, you're going to be fighting the normal one, so you'll be able to kill that easily, even with your dual Crescents enchanted once. You can do it, and you probably should do it with your Duelist if it's enchanted. We haven't discussed that yet, Bunny, but we will. But here, let me just show you this last boss, and then we'll be done. The dual Crescents particularly shine with Advent Worm and worms in general, okay? I'm not going to do this one because this Advent Worm is strategic because it decreases the vitality of your companions. But if there's a worm, bleed is going to be really good against it. So in our realm of lore, we have 2 worms, okay? Now let's see. I'm going to try Nightmare. Okay. So this worm, the recommended team power or battle power is 11,011. You see that? So I'm under, but I'm going to use Slide Milla just in case. Okay, so I have some heals, but mainly it's just me and Rowan doing the damage. Okay, so for this worm, you want to run. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I got my worms mixed up. Alright, so this one, if easy plays on, you don't want to touch anything. Just let it run, because it puts you in this cutscene right here, and your character keeps running, and dodge. Then go ahead and start adding everything. Now you run away from these circles. Keep the bleed beat building. Okay, I'm gonna break again. Oh man. Alright, he is susceptible. Now I got the grab. So yeah, in the beginning, he does the cutscene, and with easy play, you run straight through it. If you try to run through it by using your thumb, you won't get there. So you don't want to touch it, and then you want to roll through this his swipe that he does, like I just got hit by. And then just build up your bleed until you can use that third grab down there and pin him. Okay, break him. There we go. Should be dead soon. There he is. He's dead. So that was Nightmare. And it was super easy because of the dual Crescents, because of that pin. Because you can hold him and keep swiping him. Not only that, but the worms themselves are just super susceptible to bleed itself. Not everything is really weak to bleed like worms are, but worms are specifically. So what I do is I will use bleed for both of these worms, and then I've been using my fire duelist for the cold golem, the frost ogre, and the volcano harpy on the lesser difficulties. I haven't killed the armored gorilla yet though. Let's show you this one. So this one's a little different. So on the last one, you just let easy play run you in, and then you either dodge his body swipe that he does, or you just run out of the way of the gold circles he puts on the ground, right? That's pretty easy. But this one's different. You want to run straight in, because if you wait for easy play to start running, easy play only runs when there's an enemy in front of you. So you want to actually run in and get close to the enemy enough so you can start stacking your bleed debuff on him. That way, the faster you attack, the more bleed you'll get on him, and the faster you'll be able to grab him. So, but the other thing about this boss is that he has babies, or she, I guess. She has 2 babies. I don't know how many babies she has on the Nightmare one, but she has 2 typically, and they kind of annoy you. But in all honesty, I just completely ignore them, and I go for the mother. So I will always target the mother as well, and you'll see me do that. All right, running straight forward. There she is. Okay, roll. Man, I didn't get it. Let me restart. My method is I will target her, and if I can get my bleed fast enough, okay, I'm just gonna wait. Then I'll shoot, add more bleed, break, and I can grab. Got my first grab. Now, I'm gonna run around, stay out of that. Uh-oh. Whew. Okay. Break her again. Got that triple throw. Okay, she has 3 babies in the nightmare one. So one thing you have to learn is using your attacks during these little mini cutscenes that they take you through. That will help you immensely. You gotta learn where your character is, even though the focus of the screen is on your companion that's using their special. You gotta learn where your character is and how to watch them, so you can know like when your first attack is finished and you can add the second attack. So again, I'm kind of taking that kiting method that we did with the Hellhound, and it's going fairly well, as you can see. You just want to stay out of the red. Okay. Lyudmilla just makes everything easy. She should be one of your companions that you buy super quickly. Alright, there we go. And I got an S on Nightmare. So now you've seen dual Crescents. I hope you get some. I hope you really just go for the legendaries. They are the best. They're much better than the ones I have. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you later.